Coach, just in terms of Jalen, his defensive growth you've seen this season, is there anything particular that you've done with him, or is it just more of being around, more experienced defenders and being able to be in a different environment that's allowed him to?
No, I mean, other than a lot of film work, that's with the team and individually. But main thing is accountability. Like seeing mistakes over and over on film and improving those areas, and so a little bit of that, as well as the other guys that do it naturally, Dylan, Fred, and I think our group in general. Seeing where we're ranked and how we're trying not to have any weak links. You don't want to be that guy, so he's improved in those areas. The competitiveness is there, and like I said, less mistakes in the rotation schemes and coverages.
Why do you think he's been able to have such carryover from game to game?
Defensively or in general?
Both.
Like I said, it takes a while, but when you see mistakes and those are pointed out, it's one of the fastest ways to grow and learn from them. And so, as frustrated as he was at times, and vice versa, we saw progress little by little, and for him, it's a confidence thing and rhythm thing, and we know his ability on the offensive end. It's it takes a little bit more being receptive to learning when you're trying to form him into an all-around player, and so we're not asking him to just focus on one thing, and sometimes your brain can get a little scrambled when we focus on passing, making the right read, scoring the ball, defending, and all the things we're asking him to do. So, it takes a little bit longer, like I said, with everybody. Everybody learns at a different pace and speed, and it's starting to click for him on both ends. So, even when he does make a mistake, like a lot of guys, they're seeing it quickly now and adjusting.
Have Alperen and Cam started doing any work on the floor?
Cam is doing spot shooting, not Alperen.
What is Alfie doing right now? Or is he progressing, I guess, the way that you guys thought he would?
Treatment and rehab, and the main thing is trying to push the swelling out. From there, loosens up a little bit, you can start to do some things, but that's the main focus of bruising and swelling, getting that out of there.
What in the last 5 games is maybe what you anticipated would take place with such a major change, and then what has been surprising to you the last 5 games?
You're saying without me being out? We've had sample sizes of going small ball, and so that part, I think our bench in general, a lot of times it was Jeff, but now it's Jabari, and I'm kind of manning the five-man spot, and so we've had looks at it, but even before Alfie went down the bench, and we started to pick up the pace and get up more threes and do some of those things anyway, so the carryover wasn't anything new. We had started doing that after All-Star break. The surprise is, I would say, for guys like Amin who have been using certain roles, and Jabari's comfortable with the pick and pop 5 and doing some of those things, but Amin and some of the different lineups we have out there, how quickly he's adjusted to learning to play off the ball and doing different things to impact the game without the ball in his hand. So, it looked like we were a little rusty coming out the first game, but kind of got through that quickly, and our main thing is if we can get stops and get out and run, and we've been doing that all year.
When you first went to the post-shooting lineup with Jabari, and then you referenced it being sort of game to game in terms of who would start, has Amin's performance sort of solidified it at this point?
Yeah, you would say that, but our main thing was looking at, are there any true big centers, or you may have Jock in there, or whatever the case may be. And for the most part, we find that nothing to do with really Amin. It's more so Jabari being comfortable guarding those guys. And so can he play the 5, or do we need to upsize with Jock, or whatever the case may be. And so it's more so Jabari. We feel like he has the advantages most nights. We haven't played Embiid, Jokic, or any of those guys where we need a true big body 5-man, but I would say we're comfortable with what we're doing. Obviously, you don't want to break the rhythm of what they're doing well, and more so than Amin, they had to do with Jabari being comfortable at the 5.
Coach, how tough was it to be patient coming into this situation here in Houston? The way that you all are playing now is similar to what you had when you were in Boston. You started off kind of slow, but after the All-Star break, you picked up, which is the same thing that's going here now. So, how difficult was it just to stay patient to get to this point?
I wouldn't say it was difficult. You knew what you signed up for. We had a bunch of young guys that had a lot of losing going on before and had some bad habits that we needed to change and break. And so, it's going to happen eventually, but it's not going to happen overnight. And so, the encouraging part was how fast we came out to start the year. And so, you saw traces of it, and we kind of plateaued in the middle of the year. And so, like I said, after All-Star break, we really broke it down to half the season. And what we did well, we tried to get back to that. So, the frustrating part, or the part we have to be patient with, is that you've seen it before, and how much carryover can you have from game to game, and not let those slides happen. And so you saw the traces of it, and now we're getting back to it.
opposing teams are putting their bigs on our man, trying to keep him out of the dunker spot and off the boards. What's kind of the counter to that, to take advantage of other teams keeping their centers and power forwards closer to the basket?
I would say him handling and initiating. You know, it's whoever the 5-man guards, we put him up top in the spot Alpha usually mans, and so from there he's quick enough to still get in, penetrating and make some plays. I think then the second piece was him using him as a screener. And he's been really good there, like I mentioned, something he never did before, but hitting him in the pocket. You know, he's so athletic there and he can pass the ball. So that's been really good for him. His adjustment over the last 4 or 5 games is really showing in those areas. But as always, all year, it didn't just happen now. And teams were putting the 5-man backup units on him, and so it was for us him finding the shot that he wants, not getting baited into what they want him to take.
Do you believe in trap games?
I mean,
Well, maybe the question should be, how has your view on that changed player to coach?
Yeah, I mean, we lost to Memphis going into the All-Star break where they were undermanned, and the thing you always try to guard against is natural letdown when a player or two is out. And even the Washington game recently, we had a up and down first half. We didn't guard more like we were capable, and we tried to reference what we did a week prior and try to have that same carryover. But it's going to be a little letdown at times. For us, every game matters right now. So you can look at Cleveland's, Chicago's, and Sacramento's as more of a barometer of where we're trying to get to. But every game matters, and so regardless of what we did against Portland, a few weeks ago, we're going to have them coming in again, and then again at the end of the season, you got to have carryover and try to do the right thing. And so we try to guard against it. We've had enough letdown games this year, games that got away from us, and I can always reference those.
You made an interesting comment a moment ago. I want to go back to. You said you don't want to be that guy. Is there something that if you have 3 poor defensive players, they can all look at each other and go, well, I don't have to worry about because he's not any better than I am, and if you can isolate it down to one poor defensive player, that you really can get that guy to uplift a little bit? Is there something to that?
No, I wouldn't say that. I think when you have really good defenders, that starts to rub off, and so whether that's not who guys are, we try to form them into that, help them become that. And coming into the season, people said certain things about Alperen. Well, we try to scheme around that and help him as well. So it rubs off when you bring the right guys, no doubt. They have that mentality, and whether it's like I said, the film sessions speak for themselves, and guys don't like getting called out. They're gonna react and improve in those areas.